Yo, what's going on guys, Camille here. In this video we're going to be doing a tier list for Nilou's best weapons. So before we start, we're just going to list the things that she needs, so you have a clear idea on what she needs on the weapons so we can rank them accurately. And this is what she needs on Bloom teams, by the way. This is not really like for DPS teams, even though they're viable, but it's not really how she's meant to be played. So yeah, this is mainly focuses on Bloom teams. We're going to include and talk about DPS teams, but we're not going to focus on them. But yeah, you're going to need HP. It's the most important thing. Pretty much everything on her kit scales with HP, so you just want to get as much HP as you can. Then next you're gonna need Elemental Mastery. It's probably next priority because you're gonna be doing like blooms and stuff like that, so it's probably the next priority to have like more damage. Then you have Energy Recharge. Obviously you just want to keep her burst on cooldown. Her elemental burst is not really that important, that's why I'm not putting Energy Recharge higher, but it's still good to have her burst on a good uptime. And finally we have crit, both crit rate and crit damage. These are definitely good for her damage. They're definitely not bad and you're gonna benefit from them a lot, but the thing is you're probably not gonna be able to get them like as much as you want. HP scales better than crit and there are like way more things that you have to prioritize before crit, so just make sure you get those things, you know, HP, Energy Recharge, Elemental Mastery, and then if you have any extra crit rate then that's gonna be good. But I don't think you can have enough HP and enough crit rate and crit damage like the normal ratios, 50 to 70% or something like that. I don't think that's gonna be possible with Nilou, but any extra crit rate is going to be appreciated. So yeah, now that we're clear on that, let's begin the ranking. Alright, so we've got the tiers. Obviously we've got S, A, B, C, and D. So S tier is obviously like her best weapons. A tier are the next best. B tier are like the average weapons or like decent weapons that she can use. C tier I would probably just put in like crit weapons in general, because as I said, you're gonna benefit from crit, but there are like other priorities, so crit weapons are not really gonna be that valuable. And then D tiers are like the weapons that are completely not usable. So yeah, let's begin the ranking. So first of all, we've got the Cold Steel. It's not really going to give you anything, it's just going to give you attack, which is completely useless. So yeah, it's going D tier. We've got the Harbinger of Dawn. It's going to give you crit damage. As I explained before, for crit weapons, they're not really preferred, but they can give you some value. So yeah, I'd put it as C tier. We've got the Traveler's Handy Sword. That's defense. It's going D tier. Dark Iron is going to give you Elemental Mastery. I would say it's kind of good. The passive is kind of useless, so I wouldn't really say it's particularly a good weapon, but it's usable. I would put it at B or C tier. Let's put it at B tier. We've got the Fillet Blade. It's definitely not usable. D tier. Skyrider's Sword is going to give you Energy Recharge, which I explained before. It's going to be a viable option too, but it doesn't really offer much. It's just Energy Recharge. I don't think that's enough in my opinion, so it's going C tier. The passive is just kind of useless. If it had a good passive on plus of Energy Recharge, then maybe B tier, but just like that, C tier is the one. Now we've got the Favonius. It's also going to give you Energy Recharge, and then the passive is also going to help you with energy and help all of your team with energy. See, on that case, it's going to give you Energy Recharge, but it's also going to give your team Energy Recharge, which is pretty good. So I would put it at B tier. Not like as the Skyrider is just a flat Energy Recharge bonus from the passive. The Float, just attack and some bullshit passive, so we're going to put it at D tier. We've got the Sacrificial. So it's actually interesting about this weapon. It really depends. Obviously, it's going to give you Energy Recharge, which is pretty good, but the thing is, it's with the passive. So obviously, the Sacrificial is going to allow you to use your elemental skill twice, and that means you can have both stances on Nilou, or you can have her for a long time on the field. That can be pretty good for a DPS Nilou, but for a Bloom Nilou, I'm not really sure about that. Even for a DPS Nilou, I'm not really sure how good that's going to be, because if you have her for a very long time on the field, you're not going to be able to switch to like supports and stuff like that, so it might mess with your rotations. And I haven't really done any calculations. I'm not sure if that's going to result in higher or lower damage. Also add to that, you're probably going to need to have it at Refinement 5, because without Refinement 5, the cooldown is going to be too long to have the passive. Or Refinement 4, I think it's going to work on 4 too. Yeah, it's going to work on 4. But yeah, 4 or 5. If you have it 3, it's not really going to work. So yeah, this weapon has the potential to be good. I think we're going to have to wait and see more, like how can we use this weapon on her. But generally, for right now, at least I put it at B tier. It has potential to be a little more, but it's not really that much. We've got the Royal Sword, this D tier. Lion's Roar, D tier 2. Prototype Rancor, D tier is physical damage. Iron Sting is going to give you Elemental Mastery, which is pretty good. And that's going to increase basically all of your damage, which is also pretty good. I would put it at B tier 2. It's a cool weapon. Now we've got the Black Cliff. It's going to give you crit damage. As I explained before, its crit is good, but it's not really like the preferred stat. So I would put it at C tier. Same thing with the Black Sword. We've got the LA Flash. It's gonna give you like a drop of elemental mastery. It's not a lot at all. And then the passive is gonna like kind of increase your damage, I guess. But you have to not take damage. I wouldn't really say this weapon is that good. It has a very low elemental mastery substat and the passive is not even that good. So I would put it as C tier. Sword of Dissension is going D tier. Faster in Desire is actually pretty good. It's gonna give you energy recharge and then it's also gonna increase your elemental skills damage. And it's also gonna increase your elemental skills crit rate. That's gonna be pretty good on Nilou, especially for DPS teams, but even for Bloom teams, it's gonna be a pretty good weapon. Yeah, I'll put it at B tier. Aminuma Kagachi is going D tier. Cinnabar Spindle, is going D tier too. The Kagotsurubi, wait, is that release? Yeah, I think it was on the Kazuha's quest before, but yeah, it's going D tier. It's not really gonna give you anything that special. Sapwood Blade, now that's basically just gonna give you energy recharge and support you with elemental mastery. You can also give elemental mastery to your other teammates if you want to, and considering the type of teams you'd want to play Nilou in, it's gonna be a very good weapon. So yeah, it's gonna give you both energy recharge and elemental mastery. I would put this weapon on A tier, especially if you have more refinements on it. It's gonna be pretty good. We have the new Sipho's Moonlight. It's gonna give you elemental mastery and then it's gonna increase your energy recharge based on your elemental mastery. We explained these new 4-star weapons before if you want to check out the video, but yeah, on Nilou it's gonna be pretty decent too, and it's also gonna buff your team's energy recharge a little bit. So yeah, it's definitely a good weapon. I would put it on A tier. We've got the prized edition, is going D tier. And now for the 5 stars. Before we start with the 5-star weapons though, if you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Aquila Favonia is going D tier too. It's not really gonna work even as a stat stick, so yeah, it's not really that good. Skyward Blade is just basically gonna give you energy recharge. Other than that, it's not really that good. So yeah, I would put it as C tier. Freedom Sword, it's basically just gonna give you elemental mastery and increase your damage a little bit. It's not really that good because you're not really gonna take advantage out of the passive, and I don't think Nilou's teams in general are gonna take advantage out of the passive. So yeah, it's just a stat stick for elemental mastery. I would put it at B tier. Summit Shaper is going D tier. It's not really that good. Jade Cutter is gonna give you crit rate, so like I explained before, that has some value, and then it's gonna increase your HP from the passive. It's one of the very few swords that are actually gonna increase your HP, which is the most important thing we need. So for that, I would say it's going A tier. We've got the Mist Splitter. It's gonna give you crit damage, and the passive is just basically gonna increase your elemental damage bonus. You probably can have the 3 stacks, which makes it pretty good. It's gonna give you a lot of elemental damage bonus, which is pretty decent on Nilou. I wouldn't really say it's that good. I would put it at B tier. Haran Gippiku is just gonna give you a crit rate and elemental damage bonus. Nothing really special. I think I might put it as C tier or B tier maybe. I would put it as C tier. It's just like extra damage, which is not really valuable on Nilou. And finally, we've got her signature weapon, the Key of Rajni Suit. So it's gonna give you a huge HP substat, and then it's gonna increase your HP from the passive too. I actually don't know what's going on about this. It's gonna give you HP both from the substat and the passive, but yeah, whatever. That's gonna be pretty good on Nilou, obviously. And then it's basically just gonna increase your elemental mastery based on your HP, and it's also gonna buff your team's elemental mastery. I might explain this weapon on details in a later video, but for right now, that's all you need to know. It's gonna give you a lot of HP, and then it's gonna give you elemental mastery to yourself for Nilou based around your HP, and it's gonna buff all of your party members' elemental mastery by a little bit based around Nilou's HP. So that's pretty cracks and good on Nilou. It's just the perfect weapon. Obviously, it's her signature, but yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, obviously I would put it at S tier. So as you guys can see here, we only have one weapon at S tier. In my opinion, no other weapon is gonna really like come close to her signature weapon. Even other A tier weapons are gonna be far from her signature weapon. So that's why I put it alone at S tier. And as you guys can see, in general, this is the theme with Nilou's weapons. B tier is stacked. It's full with weapons. Most of the weapons are like, okay, yeah, I guess you can use on Nilou. She doesn't really have any other very good weapons besides her signature. Even 5-star weapons. There are no other weapons that are gonna like fully work on her except for her signature weapon. So that's not really good for free to plays. If you want to maximize your Nilou, you're kind of forced to get her signature weapon. But yeah, I think that was the video, guys. If you want to give me your opinions in the comments, say it. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and see y'all in the next video. Peace.